Hi guys, welcome back to yet another video. My name is Martin. I'm filming this in my storage unit tonight. It's a very hot, very humid night down here in Melbourne, so I have the door open to let a little bit of air in. Even though it's summer, it is pissing down with rain and has been for most of the afternoon. Yeah, that's Melbourne for you. It's summer and it's raining. Not torrential, but yeah, I wouldn't want to be out there. But I have the door open and let a little bit of air in here because it is quite hot. But the purpose of this channel is not to talk about the weather, it's to talk about comic books. And I have 4 comic books here, and I've got the final issue that I'm going to show off on this video is a bit of a key issue. So yeah, fans of the channel know that I always end on a key issue. They're not necessarily all grails. They could be first appearances of minor characters. They could just be something that's a little bit interesting. The things that I find interesting. But also the purpose of this channel is to show off comic books that don't regularly get shown on other channels. So if that's something you want to see, please like and subscribe. And please also tell your friends. I hope to get a little bit more promotion for 2024. But, you know, I just do this purely for the fun of it. So I'm just going to start off with the first issue. And it's Justice Society of America issue 32. And it's by Willingham and Sturgis. And this issue is the death of Mr. Terrific. I was going to say Mr. Fantastic because I'm an idiot. But no, it's the death of Mr. Terrific. And spoilers, he comes back. He comes back from the dead. This series, it started off very good, very well. It was very well written. But then at a certain point, there was like 30 different characters in the book, and they had to split the book up. So you had this one, you had the Justice Society of America, and then you had the JSA All-Stars. And both books, it kind of hurt both books when you split them up. I understand why they did it in terms of, you know, you have so many characters and you want to tell stories. But I don't know, it just kind of lost its way. And at this point in the series, I'd kind of dropped off. And then after the fact, after the book had been cancelled, I went back and I bought the rest of the series, and I've been reading them back to back. So I'd read this one, and then I'd read an issue of JS All Stars, and then back and forth, just to kind of go month by month, as I would have read it, as it had it come out. And yeah, it's okay. Yeah, the quality's it's okay. Now, the next issue I'm going to show off is, I'm just looking at it because it's a really interesting cover. It's Black Panther. The Man Without Fear. It's issue 519. I'll bring it closer to the screen so you can have a look at it and just have a look at this really nice cover. So we've got Kraven the Hunter. I don't believe this is the original Kraven. I think this is the son of Kraven. But at this point in Black Panther, sorry, no, not Black Panther. At this point in Daredevil history, the book had been cancelled, and they kind of didn't know what to do. And so Black Panther was also kind of waning. They were trying to work out what to do with the two characters, and they kind of merged the two. We have Black Panther, the Man Without Fear, issue 519. But it was actually quite interesting watching the Black Panther take on Kraven the Hunter, because they're both skilled fighters, and it made for an interesting story, and also just really, really lovely covers. Now, I am going to go on a bit of a tirade about this. Justice League issue 65 by Bendis. Trash. Just trash. And I think this is what kind of started DC on the wrong path. So they had Justice League Dark, which at the time was being written by Ram V. And I know I've spoken about Ram V before. I know he has his detractors, but on Justice League Dark, he was a good fit. And telling very interesting stories, and it was drawn just like chef's kiss. The artwork on that series was mind-blowing. Every page was a work of art, but obviously the sales were so bad that they stopped at the book and they put it as a backup in this. So I wouldn't say forced to buy it, but if I wanted to read Justice League Dark, I had to buy this. And um, I think by the end of, like, I didn't even get to the end of this series. Um, I think I just gave up. I can't remember if the backups had finished. No, actually, I think the backups had finished. And as soon as they were, I was like, thank God that I don't have to read this fucking trash anymore. Because Bendis, he can't write team books. Everyone is snarky and a smart ass and, you know, quipping, and it's just absolute trash. Uh, that being said, though, he does have a lot of talent and he's very successful, and more power to him. I certainly look up to him in terms of his status in the industry, and his enthusiasm for characters is certainly there. He has a real love for these characters that he writes. He just can't write them. Um, like, every time I read something like this, I just think, you know, I would I would love to the opportunity to write this issue. If I could go and write this particular issue, how would I do it differently? Um, and yeah, look, I said in a previous video that I didn't want to go to a negative headspace. There's a particular channel which I mentioned in a previous video that kind of concentrates on negative. Um, and I don't want to be like that. I want to show off books that I love and enjoy and bring me joy. But yeah, again, I'm sliding into the negative when I show off books like this, and it kind of does no one any good. And it's easy to criticize and belittle after the fact. But again, it brings nothing to the conversation, nothing to the table. Um, it's just disappointing. So I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I have such a low opinion on this. But yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, so the big issue, the key issue that I'm going to show off, it's Gambit and the Externals, issue 1. It's part of the Age of Apocalypse storyline. Came out in 95, I think. So I was about 14 at the time. And creatively, this was very interesting to me, to get a complete line of comic books and alter them visually and creatively in such a way to keep people interested, people to keep them entertained. It was a big feat. It didn't always work. There was a few series that were kind of like, you know, not as good as like the core issue. But this was a spin-off of X-Force. And yeah, so you had Gambit leading these team of outlaws, and they went into space to find the Mcron crystal. Now, I'll also say, how do you pronounce the Mcron crystal? Because it's M and then a apostrophe Kraan. I've always called it Mcron, but I've heard it called Mcron. But yeah, I've got no idea. Look, I'll say, yeah, I'm just a big fool. I read comic books just purely for the fun of it, and a book like this is fun for me. I will also add that I think it's a bit of a waste that Marvel didn't attempt to do something like this for the Avengers. You know, the core Avengers comics, Avengers, Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man. You could do something like that where for 4 issues, reality gets askew and you have these differing characters, and yeah, they could have just done like an Age of Apocalypse kind of deal with the Marvel heroes. But yeah, it is what it is. All right. Thank you for sticking with me, guys. Thank you for listening to me rant about Bendis. I apologize for being so negative. Yeah, I'll try better next time. I've got one more video to film and then I'm done for the night. Thanks for sticking with me. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.